Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report so exciting that you'll actually be able to put your kids to sleep with it. Just kidding, but stick around and we'll try to make sense of it together. This report gives us a peek into how the Anfield US Equity Sector Rotation ETF, also known as AESR, performed in the first half of this year. It's like checking the car's dashboard to see if the engine is running smoothly or if we're about to run out of gas. We will be looking into the AESR ETF to see how well this fund is doing. Is it growing or not? What is it investing on? Before we jump in, if you like getting clear insights straight from these dense corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed. There's also a Discord community linked below if you want to discuss this with other people. Let's start with a quick overview. This report covers the period from November of last year to April of this year. You can find more information about this fund in the Regent's Park Fund's website. You may also contact them by phone. Now let's talk about costs. For every $10,000 you invested in this fund, it cost you about $50 during this period. That's about 1.01%. To put it simply, if you have $100 invested, it will cost you $1. Here are some key numbers. The fund has about $127.6 million in assets. It invests in 26 different things like stocks or other funds. The company that manages the fund, Regent's Park Funds, got paid around $526,000 during this time. The fund bought and sold investments equal to 69% of its total assets. This number tells us how actively the fund is trading for 69% of its total assets. This number tells us how actively the fund is trading. Where is this fund putting its money? 15.3% is in common stocks, which is basically owning a tiny piece of various companies. 84.7% is in exchange-traded funds or ETFs. Think of ETFs as baskets containing many different investments all bundled together. Now let's get more specific. Breaking it down by sector, you can see where the heaviest bets are being placed, such as consumer staples, which accounts for 3.3%, communications at 5.2%, consumer discretionary at 6.8%, and equity at 84.7%. Sectors are like categories of businesses like technology or healthcare. This is where we see the biggest investments. The biggest one is something called Communication Services Select Sector SPDR Fund, which makes up 20.7% of the fund's assets. Next is SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust, ETF which is near 15%. After that we have iShares Expanded Tech Software Sector ETF at around 10.4%. iShares US Financial Services ETF makes 7.5%. ARK Next Generation Internet ETF is at 7.3%. ARK Next Generation Internet ETF is at 7.3% of the fund's assets. Next is SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust ETF, which is near 15%. After that, we have iShares Expanded Tech Software Sector ETR Fund, is 3.8%. Meanwhile, iShares US Consumer Discretionary ETF averages a 7.3%. Think of holdings like stocks. What are their bigger portions accounted for in the ETF of? Good news here. There were no major changes to the fund during this period. This suggests consistency in how the fund is being managed. If you're curious and want to dig deeper, you can check out the fund's website for more details. There you'll find the prospectus, financial information, holdings, and how they vote on important company matters. Scrolling down, we get a more detailed look at the actual financials of the fund, and we get a better scope of where the money came from and went towards, and can make a better understanding of the numbers they just talked about. Let's start with a schedule of investments. This table dives deeper into what the ETF actually invests in, from common stocks, retail, telecommunications, etc., and more details about the exchange-traded funds. Common stock total around $19,174 and 469 Rs, whereas exchange-traded funds total 10 worth and 27,000, or then shows where this worth is on stocks and funds. Overall, this accounts for about a total of $127, and exchange-traded funds total 127,000 from is worth, and shows where this worth is on stocks and funds. Overall, this accounts for about a total of 127.40 worth is on stocks and funds. Overall, this accounts for about a total of $120.50, 781 dollar 8 tons of $54 on stocks and funds. Overall, this accounts for about a total of 127,600 to 5,250 dollars 7 on stocks and funds. Overall, this accounts for about a total of 127,600 and 5,250. Now let's look at the statement of assets and liabilities. Here you find the investments made by the firm at cost compared to the investments at fair value. At a cost of $127,126,550. Overall, this brings the total assets of the firm to $127,700,000 at NRD $8.622. TOEFL. The big difference between this is that liabilities is how much the firm needs to pay, such as different service fees, putting the total liabilities at $147,727,000,000 on Ponti $4,698 and $627 and $657. Overall, this brings the total assets of the firm to $127 million. Now is a very important section, the statement of operations. This shows us exactly how much money the firm made, investment income compared to how much it spent expense. Total investment income comes out to around $71 and $118,350 in dollars. Meanwhile, expense for investment advisory fees, administrative services fees, compliance officer fees, audit fees, etc. comes out to roughly $664,584. What is left then is the net investment gain, aka the money they earned after expenses, roughly around $53,765. What is left then is the net investment gain, aka the money they earned after expenses, roughly around $53,765. Alright, now for the last part of this document, this portion will be talking about the financial performance of the company. A lot of numbers here, so let's get right to it. Looking at the net assets from the beginning of last year till now, overall the value decreased, meaning the actual assets of the company decreased. A red flag. Digging deeper, it shows that because in these 6 months there has been more unrealized loss, meaning when the company sells their investments, they sell it for a loss. This is further enforced by the numbers we saw earlier of total assets decreasing. Guinea fall. Now, after crunching these numbers and looking at the overall picture, here's what I see video of for crunching these numbers and looking at the overall picture. Here's what I see. The positive, this fund has a pretty wide range of investments across different sectors, which can help protect it if one area of the economy does poorly. It's also good that there were no major changes. It suggests it's sticking to its approach and not making sudden decisions. The concerns? Those expenses eat into net earnings, reducing the actual gains for investors. More importantly, the numbers show that overall the value for the company has decreased and that the company is selling at a loss. What's next, Apleaf? Keep an eye on expenses and ask how those may affect the company's net gains. Follow how well the ETF does compared to the S&P 500, which is one of its top holdings, and gauge how the fund is faring against other funds or ETFs. It gives an overall better understanding of the company and is important to note. My conclusion. This fund seems decent, but it would be beneficial to carefully watch how it performs against similar investments. While having a wide range of investments is great to not put all your eggs in one basket, a wide range of holdings, if not managed well, can have subpar results. Alright, that's our dive into AESR's latest report. What do you think about these numbers? Is this a fund you'd consider investing in? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown was helpful, please like and subscribe for more financial deep dives. And don't forget to join the Discord channel in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.